Oh, I forgot to change the thing on Twitch. Uh-oh. All right. What's going on? What's happening, everybody? I'm here downtown with Carlos. What's going on?
Hey, folks.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
So let's go show them we're over at the cable car turnaround. Ba-dong. So this is where it typically starts at. I got messed up on the way over here. Basically did a flying knee into, oh, what's up? Okay, let's see. Yo, what up, Cordy? What's up, Uncle Chuckles? What's up, Aesthetic Funk? What's up, Julieta? And what's up to Max Diner? Lee, you're doing a fantastic job, sir. Thank you. So, yeah, but
Julieta, hello.
yeah, I smashed my knee on the way over here on a fire hydrant. I was chasing my daughter, and that was no good. And I didn't really have time to stop and let it be. So hopefully there's no serious damage, but it's not doing so well right now. What's up, Edwin J? I know where you work.
Oh,
Edwin J, yeah, the guy who refused to come downstairs after I went to his place.
I don't know, we have our doubts.
Could be, couldn't be, who knows?
Maybe.
Are you going to the TL tonight again? Well, I guess we better get a move on then, eh? If we're gonna go, it'd be right now. Oh no, yeah, it was no...
It's a good time when the sun's out to be out there.
It's sort of, you know, I got this thing where I always look at the bright side of things, even when things are really bad. I smashed my knee. I was like, at least it was my right knee, because my left knee's the one with all the stitches.
Oh,
you know?
Good.
Like, at least it was that one instead of the injured one. Maybe now, like, since it's injured on both sides, it'll equal out and I won't have as much of a limp. Oh, they're wondering, how was the family trip, Carlos? I think he's talking to the family. Where are we going? Well, people said Tenderloin.
Family trip was interesting. They didn't know about Lee's channel, but I went ahead and showed them a bit of Lee's channel, and they were pretty excited to see me on there and to get a shout out from Lee himself.
Oh.
Live last, what was it, Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's windy. I don't know if they're going to hear you.
So, the old nephews, they might be here.
Yeah.
And if you guys happen to be watching this, hello, welcome to the stream. Good to have you.
Hey, Carlos, did you survive the family visit?
It's always a bit tiring. I'm a bit low energy right now. It's hard to really kind of settle down and relax at any one point. Usually at the end of the day, after everyone's gone to bed, I sort of get a chance to decompress. But yeah, it does take a lot of energy. Yeah.
Edwin says he feels sorry for not meeting up. Were you here? Were you with me, or was I think I was alone for that stream, right?
Friday, you were inviting people to come over. And
No, Edwin. When I went over to where the arrow goes in the ground.
Oh wow!
I don't think you were there.
I don't know this Edwin. I don't know.
Hey, let's go over to Glide. What do you say about that? Well, the problem is my signal is past the 50 gigs I'm allotted.
Yeah,
so I may not be able to. Well, you want to get something at Glide? Show them what it's like.
You guys want to go walk through the line of Glide and check out the soup kitchen and get a bite?
Isn't that only at like 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
I think it's too late. Is Cecil still at Glide? I don't know if oh my goodness.
I believe Cecil is still at Glide, yes.
Who is Cecil?
I think he's the Reverend, or Pastor. I'm not Pastor Cecil, Reverend.
Okay. This one I had the piano on the back, so I guess that was Monday? Yeah, that was Monday. Yeah.
It rings a bell, but yeah. So you guys were planning on meeting up today? Is that it?
What did you say? Sorry, I was distracted. Oh no, look at this. That's no good, eh?
What? What are you looking at?
Oh, just that there's a bit of broken glass over there. Really? Yeah, that's not a good place to park your car. That's a general sign that's not the best place to park.
There's worse things to be said than some broken glass in the Tenderloin.
Well, still, but parking right there, you know what I mean? Hey Lee, have we walked the 7th and 6th streets around there? Have I? I feel like I've walked all around here.
Oh, sure, we have. South of Market, right?
Yeah, but the problem is, right now, it's, yeah, the signal would drop right out as soon as I went over that way. Hey, do you know this user? This person here?
What's the name?
Go read it.
Let's see here. Which one? Cat RN?
No, from Try Hard.
Try Hard sent me here. Gay boy?
Yeah, I don't know this person that you're referring to.
Gay boy sent him here?
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know who that is.
No, oh, you know what? There was somebody, Real Boy or something like that.
Your boy.
You should go to Fisherman's Wharf and record street performers and talk to tourists. I'm not sure.
That's fun.
Is there a street you guys will never walk again?
No.
Well, listen.
In fact,
I'm not going to Hunters Point. And over in the Bayview is pretty shady too.
What if you knew somebody?
Third Street can be pretty good. Listen, it's not just knowing somebody; it's also knowing I'm going to be safe. It doesn't matter how many people you have if you're going to be assaulted.
You could go in a car, maybe.
Walk the Bayview Hunters Point during the daytime. And it may not be a good idea. That would have to be an incognito stream, eh, Carlos?
Yeah, there you go, incognito stream.
Yeah, I don't know how popular that was. I don't know. Are we almost at Glide?
What street is that on?
I don't know. I'm just following your lead.
Yeah, we're almost at Glide. In fact, we're gonna have to turn.
Okay.
And make a right.
Yeah, Real Bay Boy. Sometimes it's Rat Boy. Okay. Yeah, I knew who you were talking about. Try Hard.
Is he talking about your boy?
Yeah, he's talking about Real Bay Boy.
And Lee's on stream.
I haven't seen him on stream in a while.
I always thought that was somebody you knew.
No, not before I started streaming.
Your clone out there at home.
How about Bernal Heights area?
Yeah. Nice area. Bernal Heights Park. This is the controversial kind of place to have a park. I've seen this park on the news because it's surrounded by so much crime and drug use.
You know what this reminds me of? I'm not sure, I might have mentioned it before, but I saw a documentary about the one-child policy over in China.
Yeah.
And I think it was in the early 90s that this documentary was, but they had like this little a place kind of like this, you know. It was like, you know, it was in a bad neighborhood, but everything was all fenced off, and there was like the only orphanage over there in China, and so there was kids playing around out here, and the kids that were they were like, because they can only have one child, so they would there was one place that would take care of them, and like they wanted to go in and play there. Harrow, turn right on Jones up Ellis Street, you'll find light.
Correct.
Okay.
You need to make a right.
Okay. When you're right, you're right.
Are you a lefty?
No, I'm right-handed. Okay.
Really shooing away the homeless with their hoses.
Well, they seem to be having a conversation there. Anyhow, yeah, this is this park. This place looks nicer than I remember.
Yeah, they put some work into it, yeah.
Some of those playgrounds look pretty shady. Like even inside, even though it's got all those bars and gates up, you know?
Yeah, I heard that this actually, the Tenderloin used to be a real nice, classy place to live, like in the 60s.
I mean, and even before then, right?
Yeah, like a pretty.
Oh, look, that guy's on his vape pen on his bike.
Oh yeah.
But
This is where we. Good thing we're not wearing our Lee's Channel shirt because this is where we got into a consensus and
speak for yourself, ba-bum.
All right. They're gonna start gathering their gang again.
No. I gave him a little bit of time. Do you have walking shoes on? Well, any shoes are walking shoes, right? I don't have dress shoes. Let's see. Shoe
cam.
Yeah. Let's see. What do you got? That doesn't look like it offers much support. Where's your arch support?
They're actually pretty comfortable. These aren't your ordinary Chuck Taylors. These are pretty padded. I like these.
Meanwhile, I got like, I don't know, it seems like some work shoes.
These have a lot of miles on them.
Oh yes. But man, I had some shoes that I walked in, like I walked past a car wash and stepped through like a puddle of the stuff that they treat car tires with to make them more durable.
Another right.
And oh wow.
Welcome to the block of Glide.
Oh, okay, Carlos, you walk first. I'll follow you.
Okie dokie. A nice stroll.
Yeah, go ahead.
Down Ellis and Jones.
Okay.
Yeah, usually the line comes all the way down this way and around the corner when it's breakfast time.
So Carlos, tell me about what it was like when you were using Glide services.
Well, you have to wait in line with a whole lot of dirty, crazy people. It's not a pleasant wait. But if you know somebody there and you can kind of hang out with somebody, it can be a long wait sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think at times the food might run out, so it could all be for nothing. So you better just get here earlier rather than later.
We went there before together.
And then also the table that you eat at can be a pretty unpleasant experience. The table, it's crowded, people are rude, it's dirty.
Well, how would you say the fragrance is?
I try to just kind of breathe through my mouth because just looking at the place, you don't want to breathe in.
Yeah, there's some nasty puddles. Hasn't been raining. There's puddles here nonetheless.
St. Anthony's, I'd say it's more pleasant over at St. Anthony's.
Yeah, but your sense of smell is not that good, right, Carlos?
Yeah, it depends. Sometimes if the conditions are right, it's okay.
Hold on. My cable fell out.
You want to step inside for a brief second?
Will they allow you to? Oh, my signal might drop out.
Just to get some resources. You know,
okay. I wonder, do they have any pamphlets?
Yes, this is a helpful thing right here.
Show it.
This is the free eats chart, I think they call it. But yeah, it gives you a calendar and the places to go to.
Okay. Yeah, this is good. It shows you where to get meals, right? Too.
Yeah, it's very helpful. All the places to get free food.
All right, so let's see. Show me how it's laid out. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's Mexican style, starting with Monday.
Oh wait, it's more than just. This is. It's more than just. Oh yeah, here's one for showers. Check that out.
Oh, okay. Wow. Hey, you know what? I should take a couple of these. Whoops. I dropped it. What else do they
these
got?
Are very accessible. I mean, I'm sure that you know about this.
Well, a lot of people don't even know what Glide is.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, this one here. This is the free.
Oh, that's the one. I remember studying one of these before.
This is to get free groceries, a bag of groceries. Depending.
I lined up in one of those places thinking it was the place to vote.
Yeah. Not everybody qualifies, but usually anybody can find somebody. I mean, can find some place to go to.
So this is a church, right? This is not a.
Yeah, it's a church.
Oh, look, they got Glide harm reduction programs. We should take one of these too.
This is kind of.
Tenderloin Health Services.
Changed.
Yeah. What is this chart right here?
20 years ago, and everything is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
For the art gallery.
Edwin wants you to say hi, Gucci.
Gucci?
Yeah.
Who's Gucci, Edwin?
Maybe it's his Gucci mama.
Hey, Gucci. What's happening, Gucci?
All right. Here, could you put all this stuff inside my bag? So I'm trying to gather resources so I can.
You see Arturo.
Oh, what's that? Ask for Edwin J. Edwin, do you even work? That's the question. Every place we're supposed to look for you. Are we in an SRO? No. So this is a glide. This is a church that offers a lot of services for the homeless.
Glide Memorial. It's the place to go to if you first come to San Francisco and you're homeless. This would be the place.
Yeah. So you'll see a lot of people gathered outside. Over here, this is just basically the hangout. In fact, Destin said that he hangs out over here.
The movie with Will Smith, Pursuit of Happiness, a big part of it takes place here in this shelter, and Cecil Williams is in that movie as well.
So, yeah. So, yeah. So basically, this is at the corner. This is Ellis Street here. This is Taylor Street here. So Ellison and Taylor, and you can tell because it's got these orange overhangs that all say glide over there.
It's been here for decades. It's been here for over 40 years.
Yeah.
Same reverend, same Cecil Williams. Yeah. Glad Memorial.
So anyhow, maybe we should get a move out there, girls. What's her name is still here? Yeah.
Man, it's windy today.
Man, that was a spot that she found. It was so warm there. Part of the reason why I was hanging out there was because you were freezing. Do homeless people ever try to beat you up? Oh, Manuel. That happened to the both of us before. We were being chased, actually.
A lot of the time, they're not really in good shape, good enough shape to really do much.
Yeah. So, I think this is the spot.
Yep.
This is the spot where we talked to a woman named Julia, I believe. And yeah, man, if you are homeless, this is the place to go because those vents, they just pump out hot air. Oh, there's a tent right there across the street. I mean, isn't this ridiculous? Isn't this ridiculous how rich San Francisco is, and we got like people living out here like it's the outdoors. I mean, I see there's a like some sort of handicap equipment inside there. You see that silver thing? Over
right, a wheelchair looks like.
Yeah, it looks like there's a wheelchair in there. Oops, sorry, lost focus.
You can also blend in if you're homeless and you don't want to like stick out and be bothered. You can kind of.
But I mean, like, look, there's a tent on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's like normal. That's normal.
That's
and
like
next
a
to
luxurious tent too. That's not a small tent.
and over there's some people wrapped in blankets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How many millions or billions of dollars like pass through this city, and we got these kinds of problems? You know, people. You know what I'm saying? Lee, why don't you carry a padlock and a sock for protection? You know what? All the walking I do, it would really weigh me down.
And you don't want to engage in a fight. You just want to have self-protection, like a pepper spray.
Yeah, that's not gonna do a whole lot, you know.
By that point, you're already, engaged in a fight with somebody.
Yeah, somebody's gonna get effed up.
Yeah.
They're gonna get real effed up if I hit them with the padlock and the sock.
Yeah.
And I could get in trouble too, you know. What do you think was the cause of San Francisco becoming a drug and homeless hub? Well, I mean, I guess there's a lot of different factors to it. I mean, one of the big ones was the the whole hippie movement over here, and then everybody experimenting with drugs and then getting strung out. But I guess the problem is that they provided resources, and then people started dumping all their homeless people out there. Right now, I mean, I think probably the biggest contributor is the fact that half of all homeless people will become, I mean, half of all foster kids in the foster care system will become homeless. So that's another
What tower are you guys
250,000 people becoming homeless every year. San Francisco's teeny. And even though there's all these homeless people, it's a small fraction. I mean, we got like 10,000 homeless people.
That's right.
So 250,000. 200. That would be a quarter of our population would be homeless, and that's every year.
That's probably something they have in common. They probably come across others that can share stories of the foster care system. They have that in common.
Yeah,
a lot of the time.
But yeah, that, I mean, Reagan shutting down all of the mental institutions. A lot of the people out here on the streets are mentally ill. You know, the people who, I mean, obviously our super lax drug laws have something to do with it too. You know, 80% of those people who have schizophrenia are also addicts.
So the tolerance for, you know, people here.
Are not most homeless just junkies? Yes, but why? Why? There's only two reasons, right? There's only two reasons why somebody would be a junkie. Either they suffered trauma, and they're trying to they're trying to forget about something or fill in a hole, or you know, they got mental illness. You know? Yeah. So, I mean, any people who stay out on the streets are generally addicts, but it doesn't mean that's why they got out there in the first place. And even if they did, why did they become that way? You know? Reagan did that? Yes, he did. He's pretty well known. You know, I've also met veterans who are out on the street. I think that's messed up too.
Yeah.
There should be no excuse for that. You know,
that can be in the mental health category with PTSD.
Yeah. You know, 25% of those leaving the foster care system have post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Yeah, that's the common thing.
I had it. I might still have it. It's hard for me to go to sleep if anyone's up.
I'm diagnosed with PTSD, anxiety, panic attacks, depression, major depression disorder. But yeah, the substance abuse wasn't helping that. So, you know, that's being clean of substances has made a huge deal. Has made a huge difference in that department.
They're wondering if you've ever tried fentanyl.
Fentanyl. Is that a synthetic opiate?
Yeah.
Oh, which one's the one that they have? Which one's the one that was
Suboxone?
Yeah, Suboxone.
Yeah, Carlos has had Suboxone.
Yeah, pretty strong, but not the fentanyl. No, that's a painkiller, right?
Yeah, they've been
pharmaceutical.
Yeah, they've been spiking the heroin with it because it's cheaper.
Methadone.
The fentanyl's been killing a lot of people.
That guy wanted to talk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said that he used to take methadone when I mentioned methadone.
Oh, really?
Do you want to talk to him?
Oh, sure. Okay, let's go see what he has to say. You said you used to take methadone?
Yes, I did.
Oh, sorry. Are you still on methadone, or are you?
No, but I'm thinking of going back to it because I was actually addicted to the opiates.
Oh, okay. Oh, man. So how are you homeless right now? You look like in really good shape for someone who's homeless. How long you been homeless for? 2 years. So do you stay? I assume you don't stay in a shelter with all your luggage over there.
No, I really don't like those places because they populate them with prison, ex-prisoners, and
Sure.
and stuff. And those guys really are very cruel. You know, they're used to exploiting people.
Yeah.
And they just see somebody like me coming in and they start all over.
So what happened? What led you to be homeless in the first place?
Well, my mother died, and I had 18 years of sobriety, but after she died, all the controls were off. I went back to alcohol, and my behavior got out of control.
And you're completely clean now, off of the methadone and everything?
No, I still drink alcohol, but I'm off of the methadone. I but I still drink.
You drink alcohol?
But the courts are going to prohibit me because they forced me to go into a program. So I'm not going to be able to drink. And I'll get my life together.
Are you like, do you get withdrawals and everything?
Yeah, I get the shakes bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Look.
I have to drink every day. It's a maintenance thing, just like the methadone was a maintenance thing.
Man, my friend who was just with me, I don't know where he went off to, but I thought he was gone. He was drinking 4 quarts of vodka a day.
I go through a fifth like it's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what I have to drink. You wouldn't believe it, but I have to drink a whole fifth just to get me started.
Sure.
And people they tell me, then we can't even tell you drunk.
But I took him to the hospital. They gave him some Librium, and well, first he was having panic attacks because we waited in the hospital for so long that he was afraid of the DT and the other stuff happening. So like yeah, he was having panic attacks just from the fear of that, and then we went and he was able to get clean though. They gave him some medicine that completely took out the withdrawal. Oh, there he goes. Carlos. Yeah. Hey Carlos, talk to him about how you got sober.
Well, I went to General. They gave me lots of different resources. There was a rehab program, right? But what they did to me specifically was that I was able to cut myself off cold turkey using a medication that they gave me to alleviate the withdrawal symptoms of not having any. So I was scared.
Yeah, that's what I don't want. I don't want to see.
It's way easier than you think. That's the thing.
It took it away.
He thought it was going to be impossible.
I thought it was going to be suffering. I thought it was going to suffer.
I have done methadone. I really did suffer.
Oh yeah, methadone. But this is different. This is
for alcohol, and it takes away the withdrawal symptoms of not having alcohol. And overnight, I stopped drinking just overnight. Because of the.
I mean that the next day I was walking around with him like I am now, you know, and talking with him.
Since then, my life has just been a complete.
That was my next question. How has not having alcohol in your life? How has it?
Well, I'm always afraid that I might get started again. But mainly I was trying to stop for a long time, like more than a year. I didn't want to anymore. But those withdrawal symptoms were getting crazy, and I was drinking more and more. But I didn't think it was possible to stop. I just thought I was just going to drink until I died.
It might not be because I had a friend that died.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. That pill though, that gets rid of that. It's not dangerous. I mean, you don't have to worry about dying from the withdrawal. You feel something, but it's not.
You would need somebody else there to help you to give it to you.
You gotta have a reason to actually stop, and it has to be something outside yourself. It doesn't have to be a 12-step program.
It's really hard to do it on your own.
Yeah, you can.
Because Lee was there with me, they gave him the medication.
Yeah, I was in charge of it.
I wouldn't have been able to handle it on my own. I would have either taken too much.
Do you have somebody like that who you could rely on giving you out the medication?
No, and it would really have to be someone that has gone through all the crap that I've gone through, because I don't really trust. It would have to be somebody like her that's really had a lot of experience with just being in the gutter.
Well, it need to be somebody who wasn't taking them themselves, though, because it is at the same time something that somebody could take for fun.
Them at the right time.
Yeah. Yeah. Because also when you're on it, it kind of interferes with your thinking a little bit. Because he threw away his first dose accidentally.
I was really confused.
And then I mean sometimes he double dose. That's why you need to have somebody else in charge of it. And if you drink on it, that's a no-no, because it's a benzodiazepine.
Oh wow!
But
that's a Valium.
You could use Valium. You could, and the other thing they like to give you is Librium. It only costs $7 for that bottle. Maybe like somewhere between $12 and $7.
You know what the only problem with this is?
What's that?
Is that at a certain point, you can probably relate to this. At a certain point of your drinking lifestyle, you become functional. You're able to, your tolerance goes up, you're able to function.
Right.
And
you can drink a whole fifth and be yourself.
Man, yeah, I was just telling him. I go through a whole fifth of
Here, buy him something to eat.
and people tell me, you're normal, you're not, drunk or anything. I can go through 3 of those a day, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But my tolerance has always been high, and then you become functional. So when you become functional and you're able to carry on a business, you're able to drive, and cops don't stop you and everything, you start to think, well, why should I stop?
Well,
there's nothing but downsides because I'll get sick, I'll go through all this stuff.
I'm telling you, it's not as hard as you think. That's the thing.
Your personality develops according to that.
I knew deep down, though, that I had just had that much. I knew that, even though inside my head I felt all right, I knew that I had had a whole lot, and that I was just going to keep on having a whole lot every day, day and night.
So what actually made you, I'm thinking that it's him that made you stop.
If it wasn't for Lee, I would have just kept going until I died, I think. I was already basically saying goodbye.
Yeah, he was calling me because he was getting ready to commit suicide.
That's what it is. When I lost my mom, I really lost my will to continue. I did not want to experience this reality sober. Because there was nothing anchoring me here. And I've had a near-death experience. I've been to the other side. I'm not afraid. And even when my mother was dying in the hospital, she was in intensive care for 18 days, the nurses didn't understand why I was so calm and collected. But it's because I've been there to the other side, and I knew that she was in a better place.
So if you've been to the other side and you know that she's in a better place, why are you kind of throwing your life away?
I'll tell you this. I have tried to save humanity. I have a blog called The All-Star Activist. I have 3, actually. And I'm a Christian. I'm a radical Christian. I believe in weapons. I believe in self-protection. If someone attacks you, you have the right to defend yourself. So I went after all these companies like PGD that I thought was evil. I went after the military in my blog. And I'm sorry.
Oh, my question is you were saying you've been to the other side, and you know that your mother's in a better place. Why was it so devastating to where you're going to throw your life away if you really feel that way?
It wasn't throwing my life away. It was that I was going out there to solve the world's problems and evils. I'm a particular person, a special person, in that I really do think that I can change the world. And I will go there. But look at what happens to all the people that try to do that. Martin Luther King, JFK, other folks in history. You try to change the world and the world will stomp you down. So that's what happened to me. I didn't really care anymore about living. But when my mom was gone, I had no reason to stay straight. But I was fatigued. I got tired because people would not listen to the things that I had to say. And I just got tired of being here. The only way that I could stay here was to be in an altered state. And it's still like that. It's still like that. I don't like this world because there's a devil in it. And I've tried to fight the devil, and I've tried to, wake people up. But people, they're waking up. And I think there's a glimmer of hope because I'm talking to more and more people that understand what I'm talking about. But I don't see the change. But maybe I should really get a closer look around. People are changing. People are beginning to see what reality actually is.
Well, you ever hear the quote from, I'm not sure if it's actually from Gandhi or not, but be the change you wish to see in the world. You ever hear that quote?
No, that's a good quote.
Well, buddy, I mean, you're throwing your life away. You got to start one step at a time. Start with your own self. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing is, it's so easy to do, but you got to do it.
Okay, let me
You know what
ask
I'm
you
saying?
this. what do you think my ideal life would be or could be if I wasn't on alcohol? What do you think the benefits are?
Well,
Shirts and Peter Miller's shirts. Now I'm wearing a shirt extra large.
It's on the dollar I got.
Let me show you the shirt. Could you wear a chain, sir?
I'm sorry, buddy.
You wouldn't want a shirt?
No, thank you.
You want a shirt, sir? Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I would imagine, you know, that your goal in life would be to proletize, you know, to get people to learn. But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a war.
Yes, it is.
It could be education.
Well, anytime you try to go against the devil, it's going to send its folks after you. You're going to find yourself in a war. If you're speaking the truth, if you're telling people the way the world really is, believe me, you're going to have more enemies than you can count on. And I look at that and I say, okay, these people weren't listening to me anyway when I was really doing this, and I paid a dear price for it. Do I really want to go back to that, you know? And the only way that I can go back to it is in an altered state. This is insulation. It's insulation against, and I think that's why you actually see a lot of military people love to drink.
Well, they also got a lot of trauma being inside.
Well, that's the same thing I go through. That's exactly it.
Can I ask you what your childhood was like?
It was a wonderful childhood. Well, I've always been strange, and people have always picked on me because I was so nice. I was really, really a nice kid, but then I got tired of people picking on me, and I started picking on white people, saying that I was not so nice anymore. But I still had the same ethics. I still had the same way that I thought. Like, hey, I want to do nice things in the world.
Did your parents beat you?
No. I only had a single mother. And my father was never around. I never suffered any sexual abuse or anything like that.
Your mom never beat you? Never hit you with the belt, with the switch?
No, she didn't.
With her hand, spank you?
Yeah, she did. Corporal punishment was definitely intact.
Well, I get that sense off of you.
It was reasonable, though.
It was what?
It was reasonable. It wasn't anything bad. She got whipped really bad.
Of course, that's why she whipped you. Now, look, my dad used to get beaten into hysterics. But you know what I'm like.
This is honesty time. I see you out here with this thing, and I saw you over there.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, this guy, the microphone is gone, or maybe it's hidden, but you had a microphone on the other side. And I was thinking, this guy is some kind of videographer. He's doing something.
Yeah.
Tell me your story.
All right. So basically, I myself used to be homeless. You know, like I didn't have the best upbringing. My mom was schizophrenic. My dad beat me. I went into the foster care system and group homes, children's shelters, other stuff.
I've done stories on the foster care system.
I met him over there. I mean, he's an orphan. And
I've seen you somewhere before, man. Probably. Yeah, I know your face.
So, I mean, so on this channel, I just talk about San Francisco with its homeless problem. You know, that's I relate to it. I've been homeless. After I turned 18, my stuff was put in the garbage cans, and I was dumped outside of the Larkin Street Youth Shelter. So, you know, San Francisco, it's only got like 800,000 people, and it's got 10,000 homeless people. And people don't seem to care. Look, how many people walk by and don't even look at you?
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
The tourists
like
from other countries actually.
And that's the funny thing too. The city doesn't care about you, even though at any given time we could have 4 million people in the city, and they're looking at people rotting out on the street. You know what I'm saying? People in their own piss, they're crap on the streets, and that's what we're known for now. We're known for crap and needles on the streets more and more every year.
And they seem to promote that.
So
I actually picked up needles. I was picking up needles on the street for the San Francisco AIDS Foundation, and I have trans friends.
Yeah.
The only thing that I have to say about trans friends in the LGBT community is I've taken a walk on both sides, but I'm definitely accused not being gay by the community. You're not gay, you're not gay. As much as I try to identify, you're not gay. But I have trans friends, and I'm not bragging. I'm really not. The only problem I have is that they always fall in love with me, and I have to say, okay, I'm not willing to go there with you, and this is the end of our friendship. And it hurts me every time. It makes me hesitant to actually now try to befriend people from the community because it's just painful, you know.
Yeah.
You're my friend, but not in that way. I can't go there with you. I can understand everything else that you're about, but I just can't go there with you.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. That's a very interesting story. So, what do you? You must have a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, I'm on it right now. Actually.
I know. You're not being slick. I know.
I'm not trying to.
I know.
I think that would piss you off, right? If I was trying to.
But what's your? Can you give me your information? Do you have a card?
It's Lee's channel. So you just see this logo right here. Boom.
A lot of people that are watching also are struggling with things, substance abuse, drinking, and we've had a lot of help from the audience as well.
So what's your guys' ultimate goal? What if you had the world at your favorite beck and call?
Well, I think the city needs to take proper care of the situation. Need to clean up the drug problem here. Need to get the mentally ill into some place where they're getting some proper treatment, and fix the foster care system, because half of all foster kids become homeless. That's 250,000 kids a year getting dumped out on the streets. So, also take care of the veterans. It makes no sense. It's wrong. It's wrong that people go out and fight and kill and get maimed and injured.
I just had that conversation because I was right there on Go. I think it's number 1 Go, but it's right up because they're trying to determine my veteran status. So I was just there for the review. And the girl, she wanted me to come back. I think she wanted to have a relationship with me, and I had to tell her, sweetie, I'm too old for you. You're just a kid. I can't deal with you. But I just came from there, and that's the exact same thing that you just said. It's the exact thing that I said to her.
Yeah.
Veterans that serve this country really should be treated better than what they are.
Yeah. So what were you? What was your role and rank? What wing of the military were you?
I never enlisted.
Oh, you never did?
I went for the Air Force. When I took the ASVAB, I scored so high that they told me you can go for any service that you want. So I said, okay, great. I want to fly. I'm going for the Air Force. Oh, your eyes. You don't accept people with corrected vision. And you dropped out of high school. You don't accept GEDs. Then I said, okay, let me go for the Marines because I like their ethic.
Yeah.
Oh, accept people that got GEDs. So it was the Army and the National Guard. And I went into their programs, and I spent about a year on Naval Station Treasure Island. They knew me so well, Naval Station Treasure Island. They knew me so well that I could go into the PX and buy anything I wanted, clothes, cigarettes, all of that, I was on Naval Station TI, but I spent about a year and a half. And I tell people this story, and when I went for housing, they said, well, maybe you have veterans benefits, let's find out. So they sent me to Swords, and then they sent me to Grove Street. And I just got finished with that young lady, Dominique, who submitted a disability claim for me, and she said, well, with this disability claim, it will tell you whether you have any benefits coming or not. So that's kind of my story, but...
Are you on SSI right now?
No, I'm Social Security.
Oh, okay. So you're retired?
Yeah, I used to be a truck driver.
So how old are you?
51.
51. Okay, you retired pretty early.
Yeah, very early.
Yeah.
I feel that they owe me that retirement though. I've gone through so much.
So, are you hungry? You want something to eat? You want a burger or something from here?
I'll be honest with you. I don't really eat that much.
You mostly get a liquid diet, huh?
Yeah, and that's because I don't like being sick.
I'm telling you, man, you can go into the emergency room, and they will help you out when you're over there, and they got places for you to go to get cleaned up. You don't have to do this.
I'm very interested.
Lee's channel, yeah.
Well, thank you for what you're doing, man.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah. I have a blog myself, All-Star Activist and everything.
You want at least some water? Oh, you got water. I was gonna offer you some water. You want something other than alcohol?
Chicken McNuggets.
Chicken McNuggets. I'll get you some chicken McNuggets then.
Thanks, man.
All right,
Thank
no
you
problem.
so much. Thank you, guys, for what you're doing. You're really doing great stuff.
All right, thank you.
Like you.
Well, you got to get clean, man. You got to. He was like I'm saying. He was about to kill himself. He was about to kill himself, and now he's
Lately, the past month or so, I've just been focused on not putting any bad things in my body, and that right there alone, just that.
You never told me though what you ultimately want to do with your sobriety.
Oh, right now, the challenge, the work that I'm putting in is just about taking care of my body. And every day, I get better and better ideas, more and more hope for the future. I'm not that ambitious. I'm not trying to change the world right now. But every day I wake up and I'm just grateful to be alive, to feel good. For the future to look hopeful, to look bright.
You should start a cult.
a cult.
No, really. I believe in cults because they have strong membership. Cults are not all evil. The Catholic Church is a cult, but they change the world, and I think that your vision would change it. The only thing is, when you get that amount of power, which I believe you probably will,
Quite a few subscribers.
don't let it change you.
Yeah.
Because it sneaks up on you.
I'm a little different from most people. I'm not really drawn to money, influenced by money.
No, it's not that.
Yeah.
You'll find out that you can control people's minds. You'll find out that people will do whatever you want them to do and just the same. And it's the power. That power will change you.
Let's hurry up and get you those. Do you want any sauce with it or anything?
Yeah, 3 actually, honey mustards.
Honey mustards. Okay. All right.
What's your name?
Lee. Yeah.
And you're? Carlos. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elden.
Elden.
Brown.
Nice.
Elden Brown. All right. Nice to meet you. Okay. Let's get you that stuff.
Thank you.
No problem. All right.
That's right. He does the chicken McNuggets, but these are just chicken nuggets.
That's fine. Close enough. Do they have the honey mustard dipping sauce here?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Are they going to be charging me $1 to get the mustard?
Maybe 1 or 2 for free.
Okay. Sure. I guess you're going to stand back here. Don't get robbed. Okay, here. And
I think there were a couple
Okay.
dudes like eyeing this thing. Did you see the guys behind me?
Okay, well, I guess I'll.
I will film Lee. We should. Are we about to drop a flow on that?
Wow, so it's, I don't even know how much it is.
Manuel Hero, McDaniels, Mike R. Lee, you're very kind with a big heart. God bless you. Cat RN, good effort. Razzie 1, hello Lee and Carlos. McNugget fingers.
Hi there, can I get some, can I get the, can I get 3 packets of the honey mustard dipping sauce, please? All right.
Tammy McGuire.
Yeah, that's it. That's who goes there?
Yes, Lee is beautiful. Manuel Hero. His name is Elvin.
Don't open it because later might open Erica.
Okay, thank you.
Next in line, please.
Hey Carlos, how are you doing?
Hey, Blank. Pretty good.
Okay, let's get out of here. Whoop. Sorry. Excuse me. So let me switch. All right. Carlos, are you hungry for Burger King?
Oh, I'm trying to be healthy, guys. But yeah, I wouldn't mind going for some of this actually at the moment. But I'll probably get something better later.
Wow, they're saying yes, Leah's beautiful. Well, thank you, Tammy. Let's see, you have people like you and Carlos who pull themselves out of the gutter, and ones that stay on the street. Ones who stay out on the street are crazy. Well, you know what? The problem is, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, right?
It's really difficult to get out of that situation. It takes more than just a little conversation.
Well, look, even for yourself, you were trying to find reasons why you couldn't do it.
I was resisting help.
Yeah, it's normal, it's natural. And you're being asked to give up your best friend.
It's not easy. It's extremely difficult.
Is that the Burger King that the guy put a raccoon on the table?
That was a McDonald's.
Oh, okay. All right, let me get this. Thank you. Okay. Whoop. Oh no, this keeps falling out.
I got it. Oh, I got the bag.
All right, hold on. Boom,
Never mind.
got it. It was McDonald's. Yeah, so this is a Burger King. So this will probably be his first time eating in a while, huh?
This guy?
For you it was a week before since the last time you ate something. Oh, it keeps falling out. I'll fix that later. Here you go, buddy.
Girl, come this way.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm being
right.
debaucherous.
Okay.
Hey, girl. How are you? Would you like to contribute? I'll give you a copy.
What's going on? Yeah. All right then. I'll see you later.
I'm glad that you can contact me. You can contact me too. All-star activist Elden Brown.
Elden Brown.
I do interesting stuff just like you.
Okay.
You're
That's it.
radical, man.
All right.
Don't let the power go to your head. Don't be evil.
I'm not gonna be evil.
You might turn evil when you get that power, man. I'm telling you, you're not there yet, but you might get there.
And don't forget that food over there too. I got your chicken nuggets. I got that honey mustard sauce that you wanted too. So
Thank you very much. It's
Carlos and Lee. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
No problem. And I'm telling you, you should consider going to the hospital to get sobered up. It's not as bad as you think. That alcohol addiction is easy to get over with when they give you the medication to deal with the withdrawal.
You know what though? I need a reason to get sober.
For yourself.
If I got behind your cause, I would be sober for it.
Well, you could join me. You're free to join.
Do you have contact information on your channel?
Yeah. Over there, I got my email address is on my about page. So, yeah,
I'm
you
going
can
to contact you.
All right.
If you want to put me to work, I have personality. I can kind of do this stuff.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, you may not believe a lot of the stuff I'm saying, but I'm telling you, I've been out there. Alex Jones wanted to get me on his team, but he's not genuine. I did a video on Alex Jones.
Yeah.
But for someone like you that actually sat here and talked with me and everything, and I see what you're doing out here, I would work for you, man. And I would sober up. I think you have a very honest heart. I won't always agree with what you're doing, but you're trying to save people, right?
Yeah.
Really? You're trying to save people?
Yeah. I mean, that's why I was talking to you.
Thanks, man. I'll contact you.
All right then.
And thank you.
All right, no problem. All right, enjoy.
Bye, guys.
All right, see ya. Oh, you said congratulations to you. Anyhow, there it goes.
More drunk? Last time we talked?
Oh, because he was trying to pick up girls?
No, all of a sudden he just actually seemed drunk. He didn't seem drunk before.
Oh, it could be. he seemed sober when we met him.
Yeah, he seemed sober when we met him. And suddenly he seemed drunk.
Okay. Just reading a message at the same time. Look at this.
Oh, I got a little chilly.
Boy, you are always cold, aren't you, Carlos?
I just said it got a little chilly just now. I'm not always cold. I don't.
Always chilly, eh?
Never mind.
I'm just kidding, Carlos. He's so not ready for help. Yeah, but nobody really is, right? I mean, if he was ready for help, he would get it himself. Man, this thing is just falling out repeatedly.
He's not really agreeing that he needs to stop.
No.
He's resisting that. He's arguing back about, well, I need a reason.
Yeah.
I went through probably a solid year of knowing I had to, but not knowing how.
Yeah. Any help given, albeit rejected or accepted, is accomplished. Try and think. Flower, rose, not evil. Like oh crazy and pink. Yeah. Well, that's yeah, of course. Anyhow, I'm not surprised. I just wanted to get the word out there. It is possible, and it's not as hard as you think if you're willing to do it. You know. I mean, well, think about this. When we first met, what was it, James? James was pretty down in the dumps, you know? And he was kind of giving up. And we were telling him that there's all these resources for homeless people. And he wasn't really feeling it at the time. Now, I mean, he's doing well. Every time I see him, he looks better. And he's in an SRO. You know?
Yeah, he still seems to be interested in doing drugs.
Well... But at least he's doing better, though.
One step at a time. That's a pretty cool shot, like straightforward, like all these people coming.
Oh, you want me to stay on there? The problem is, this cable just keeps flipping out.
I'm sure they won't mind. They see so many cameras.
Yeah. Carlos is living proof you can do it, says Aunt Julieta. What was he saying about LGBT? You know, I couldn't hear actually a lot of what he was saying. But considering how he's a radical Christian, I assume it wasn't something super with it, you know?
Right.
What's going on over here, Carlos?
To the right?
Yeah, I was just curious as to what you thought was going on back there. Carlos, they say they're proud of you, and you're happier and healthier now.
Gosh, thank you guys. Oh man, yeah. I'm a little in disbelief myself. Yeah.
Where should we go, Carlos? Should we go down to the Ferry Building? I don't want to go. I don't want to go south of Market because it always.
We could do what one of your viewers suggested and go to the Ferry Building and then curve around to all the street performers down at Pier 39. Kind of keep on this main path of tourists.
But we only got an hour left.
Yeah, that should be enough time, I think.
Okay. Hello, Brenda Barnes. Brenda Barnes just got on. So basically, I guess the main thing that happened is we talked to somebody who was homeless out on the street, who was 55, but he looked really good. But
51.
51.
I've heard the name Brenda Barnes many times. Can you give me a refresher?
Oh, she's a viewer.
Okay.
she's a regular commenter.
She's a viewer.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see any user icons, so all I know is the name and what they say. You know. She always comes in and says hi when she's on here. So that guy who was that we were talking to, had kind of given up a little bit, and he was going through alcoholism. So I was trying to tell him that there's resources out there, and Carlos is living proof that it can be done, even if you think it's too late. You look good for 51, Carlos. Says Riz A1.
Thank you very much.
You're supposed to say, well, I try, I take good care of myself.
I've told people stuff like that. Well, we are talking about the guy that we talked to, but yeah, I have played around with people and said, I'm 46, I'm 56, and every now and then they'll believe it. Kind of weird. I don't expect them to believe it.
Aesthetic funk. I think what he was saying is that he could be friends with people who are LGBT and trans and all that, but he couldn't go with them as far as the trans thing. And then he started getting and then he was saying that was causing problems, and so now he doesn't befriend him. I think that's what he was saying. I couldn't really hear everything he was saying though.
It's hard to judge just how drunk he was when we first met him. He probably was quite drunk, even though it didn't seem like it. He probably had a lot to drink today.
Well, honestly, I think there was a lot of things going on under the surface. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to get too far into it.
Well, you can't really do very many productive things. You can just kind of keep up appearances for so long. But when you're in your alcoholism, you can't really be very productive.
I'm not. Yeah. Carlo Gambino says, here again, Carlos, even though he has his problems with drugs and whatnot, you have always worked. Carlos acts like a man and makes money. Lee, have you ever panhandled? I don't see it.
Yes, thank you, Carlo.
I've never panhandled in my life. But you could join me on Patreon. No, I'm just kidding. Give me those donations. No, I've never panhandled. I actually, was homeless and hungry. I would go around inside the mall, and I would just go eat the food that people left behind. You would never know that I was homeless when I was homeless.
Panhandling, you've kind of given in to the whole lifestyle.
Oh, listen, I would go around and just watch people panhandle, and just be sitting there hungry, just looking at them, kind of with like a mix of emotions. On the one hand, being like, man, I wish I could panhandle, but I just can't. And on the other hand,
it's not a skill you want to develop.
And on the other hand, I was like, oh, look at that. They're giving money to this guy that's going to be used on drugs. I need it,
Yeah. I didn't want to get good at it. I didn't want to develop that skill. I wanted to develop the skill of digging my way out of that. Panhandling is not really a good way to, it's not really a good solution.
Man, when I met my now current wife, not current, when I met now what is my wife, I was living in a hotel that was provided for me by City College, by CCSF, from the Guardian Scholars Program. I was giving her gifts that I found on the ground.
Yeah, using the resources, it takes work. Panhandling doesn't exactly take work.
But I was also, I was eating what I could. I was, I don't know.
But yeah, it sure is tough. He did say he doesn't really have anybody. I mean, if he had a wife waiting for him or a family waiting for him somewhere.
Well, that's never going to happen if you're an alcoholic out on the streets.
Apparently he says he doesn't have anyone.
Well, you're not going to have anybody if you don't take care of yourself,
I'm sure he's got somebody. Maybe a long-lost somebody.
He could get somebody.
Because we were sort of estranged for a couple of years.
Well,
we kept in touch, but we didn't really do anything, really.
It felt, well, for a while, every time we would talk, I would be telling you, hey, you got to get sober, and I think he didn't want to hear that. And, he wouldn't pick up my phone calls anymore.
Yeah, I didn't want you to be disappointed in me, so I avoided really prolonged contact with you, but I still kept in touch. That was about it.
Yeah, you wanted text only.
Text, yeah. Email from time to time. Yeah. Updates here and there.
Yeah. He's got a he's leading Carlos to buy him nuggets at somebody. That's not. I mean, that's a little treat, you know.
I think it was a step in the right direction. That talk.
Yeah.
That little interaction. I mean, that's going to stick with him for a while.
Well, honestly, I'm concerned about mental illness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can always go back and watch that conversation on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't want to get too far into it, but I think that's a factor.
You think when people talk about changing the world, it kind of starts to get into the delusions of grandeur kind of a category?
That's kind of what I was alluding to.
It kind of gets a little tricky at that point.
Aunt Julieta, I'm glad you have each other again. Yeah, well, you know what? I'm very limited in family. You're one of a very small little, little odds and ends of family that I have.
Yeah, 19 years, pretty much 2 decades. You can't just find that anywhere you go. So you gotta hold on to those relationships. Gotta hold on to those friendships. You rough in the good times and the bad times. Well, this time when we walk through the Ferry Building, things should be open this time, so we can actually show the audience all the neat little shops inside the building.
Oh no. Manuel was asking, what do you think is the leading cause of mental illness? I think mental illness is
abuse, emotional trauma.
No, I think mental illness is a sign of damage to the brain.
Well, that's obvious, damage to the brain, but I mean...
Yeah, but that could be a variety of factors. That could be drugs.
It could be emotional
80% of people with schizophrenia are also addicts. I don't think that's just some random statistic.
Oh, drug use, right.
Yeah, so
obviously.
I think...
Those are the obvious things, drug use, damage.
Well, he's saying the leading cause, not like a hidden cause. So, I say the biggest one would be, of course, drug abuse. But, there's also parasites that eat at the brain. There's the parasite Toxoplasma gondii, which that can cross the blood-brain barrier. And 25% of people inside the U.S. have that. And in other countries, particularly in places like Southeast Asia, it's 50% of the population. There seems to be some correlation. I mean, my mom had signs that she may have had that, and she had schizophrenia. There's I think brain trauma from a variety of things can cause it. I mean, recently there was a fighter. His name's Tony Ferguson. Turns out that he's got schizophrenia. So I just think that it's a symptom. You can look at the brain of somebody who has mental illness, and you can see it. You can see that there's holes in the brain, that the brain is wasting away. If you look at schizophrenia medications, a common side effect is shrinkage of the brain. Now, that's not because of the medication they're taking. That's just that's what happens to people who have schizophrenia. Their brain is wasting away. So there are many avenues to get to that place, but I think people look at it as an independent thing instead of a symptom of something else going on under the surface. So
it's unfortunate when the behavior that they engage in can get them into trouble, and they really don't get much help.
Are you thinking about that guy out there on the street still?
Oh, whether they end up homeless or in jail or just in trouble, they're in a bad situation, and they're still pretty much on their own.
So chemical imbalance. Max, I don't believe in the chemical imbalance theory. The belief is there's an imbalance of chemicals. We know this because we give them this medication that affects dopamine or serotonin, and it seems to alleviate it. Thus, it must be, what I'm saying is that I don't think that the research is sound. The thing is, we give them this, and it makes it better, so it must be this, They haven't definitively found the root cause for a lot of these mental illnesses, and the imbalance thing is for depression, that they typically say, but they haven't proven that to be the case. They just say these medications seem to alleviate these problems, thus it must be a chemical imbalance. However, your body is very good at neutralizing chemical imbalances. In fact, when they give you these medications, oftentimes they give you what's called a megadose. It's a dosage that is so high that it exceeds your liver's ability to clear it out of your blood system. In fact, what happens is a lot of these things, like these serotonin reuptake inhibitors, they cause a legitimate chemical imbalance. You're bombarded with serotonin. You have serotonin receptors in your eyes. You get cataracts. That's why I have cataracts. It's because of that. It causes permanent sexual dysfunction. You lose feeling in your genitals. And there's no way to cure it. There's no way to solve those problems. So I believe that the medication that they give you to cure these chemical imbalances, they can themselves cause chemical imbalances. But anyhow, that's kind of off the subject. Carlo Gambino wants to hear about child molestation in the children's shelters. You got anything to say on that, Carlos?
I don't know, that one kind of hit me kind of suddenly. I'm going to process that question a bit. A lot of the people are in there because of, many of them are in there because of sexual abuse. And then when you get there, you encounter more sexual abuse. But a lot of the time, some of the residents kind of invite that abuse.
Yeah, so there's an interesting thing that happens. I mean, this happens with almost anything. You kind of perpetuate the abuse that you suffered as a child. And so, for example, people who have suffered sexual abuse. Somebody who's been raped before as a child or molested or sexually abused in some fashion as a child, when they get into a situation where somebody's a predator and going towards them, they don't have the same natural instincts that somebody who never was molested as a child would have. They freeze up. They don't fight. They go quiet.
They're more vulnerable to being attacked again, to being molested.
Well, they find themselves in those situations. They're drawn to abusive people. They get in these situations where these happen. They shell off and they disassociate rather than fighting it off and screaming for help. And they don't report it either.
I think there's also like damage to the self-esteem, so that then it's people who give them, affection, then it has a different effect, when they get affection.
Another thing is over inside the children's home. So there's a lot of the girls who are in there, and some of the guys who are in there. Are in there because of those abuse cases. They will seek it out. A lot of people will sort of use it kind of like a weapon. I've been warned by staff inside the group home, like, hey, Lee, don't go with it. Don't go with this or that person. It's like, why? Oh, you're going to get in trouble. Like, why? What's going to happen? They wouldn't tell me. But there was girls who were like kind of serially reporting people for rape because of the attention that they got because of that.
Right.
They I was with this girl named Faith while I was inside of a children's shelter called the Receiving Home over in San Mateo. And I don't know. I mean, I guess she was drawn to me because I was like the funny guy inside there, and I kind of stuck up and protected her in the beginning when she first got there. But she actually initiated some stuff with me, She was, she grabbed my hand and was putting it on her breast and like closing my hand on her breast, that kind of stuff. And then,
And she's somebody that would falsely accuse others of.
well, later she told me, hey, you know, when that happened, I felt like I was getting raped. I was like, what are you talking about? You grabbed me and put my hand there and did that. She actually reported somebody else in there for the same kind of thing.
I've been in very similar situations myself.
But no, there is rape and molestation that happens. You know, kids on other kids. I mean, you knew somebody who was who may or may not have been raped inside of the children's shelter.
Right.
In the San Jose children's shelter.
Who initiated it? She accused of, she claimed to be a rape victim when in fact she had initiated that whole encounter.
And it says we're stuck in mid-discussion. I wonder what's happening if it's glitching out. Man, what was I gonna say? Well, tell me in the comments what's going on when you say we're stuck in mid-conversation. You're stuck in mid-discussion. I want my refresh. Who else is still here? Hello, everybody?
We might have to repeat ourselves.
You're okay now. Oh, no.
What did you miss?
They probably the whole section when we're under those under that construction area.
Oh, damn.
Nothing has been frozen on my end, says Blake.
Oh, good.
All right. So, I don't know. Anyhow, yeah. So, I mean, that has happened. I mean, I haven't been sexually abused inside the system. I haven't been sexually abused at all. Well, yeah, throughout my entire stay inside of the system, at least.
The only time I've been sexually abused was by my family member, my sister. That was the only time.
Yeah.
I can't recall other times. Who knows if I made
Well,
have I told you about any other times?
Well, no. What about Jim?
He was grooming me. He was trying to form a real close relationship between the two of us, but he didn't sexually assault me at any point.
Riz-A1, I haven't seen any conclusive evidence that that mental illness is caused by genetic factors. Somebody reached out to me because they were doing research, was trying to show a genetic link with schizophrenia, but they were tracking so many different types of genes. It just didn't really seem like that research was going anywhere. I didn't work with them, but yeah, I haven't seen any conclusive evidence that shows that there is a genetic predisposition. I mean, there may be genetic predisposition, but I don't think that it is caused by your genetics. I think it is caused by things inside the environment.
What about birth defects?
Oh, birth defects. There's lots of course, genetics. Yeah. Genetics, drug usage while you're pregnant, getting too much vitamin A, all kinds of things can happen. Synthetic vitamins in general,
In the past, they used to use the word mental retardation a lot, when now they're using the word autistic for the same kind of behavior.
Well, I mean, autistic, it's kind of funny. Well, you know what's crazy? Autism and Asperger's or autism spectrum disorders are on the rise, and they're on the rise in the developed world. And I think that is honestly, because the places that are really affected, Japan, the U.S., England, these places that are all super developed. Japan at one point in time was at the top. I mean, I think they're close to the top. I really think that the research on cellular radiation and electromagnetic radiation is being suppressed and has been suppressed since the 90s at least. I think that has a lot to do with what's going on, because we're being bombarded by electromagnetic radiation. Cell towers, radio towers before the cell towers, and it's just getting more and more and more. Now we got it in our houses with Wi-Fi, it's just the 5G has gotten to the point where they found that it's actually affected people's hearts, I mean, it affects your ability to think, and it affects people's hearts. As adults, we're more protected because because our brain is, our skull is completely sealed. But as a child, you still got that, as a baby especially, you're completely permeable. But then even as a toddler, you have or as a baby, you have a soft spot that doesn't fuse until several years later. So I think you're especially susceptible. But I think look, people may think that I'm a maniac, that I'm crazy, that I have these thoughts.
You think a tinfoil hat would help?
No.
Okay.
That's ridiculous. They don't even sell tinfoil anymore.
Right. Foil.
Aluminum foil. Or aluminium, depending where you are. Oh, hey, oh. Do you believe that stuff really has effect on humans? Yes, I do. For sure. The cell phone industry hired a lawyer who had defended the tobacco companies I'm not sure if it was a lawyer or a scientist, but I hired him to do research showing that radio waves did not affect people, did not cause brain cancer, brain tumors, and he actually came up with something to the contrary, and was thrown out. You could look that up. I'm sorry I don't have the specifics, but that was from the 90s. And what we got going on in the air right now is much, much stronger than what they were doing way back then. Carlos, do you still smoke weed?
No.
Yeah.
I haven't smoked weed since I made the promise to Lee to stay clean of any substances. So I'm only putting anything, whatever is healthy to my body. I'm not even having sugary drinks or coffee or saturated fats. Like I told that fella back there, I forgot his name now.
Oh man, he had such a cool name too.
Yeah, I'm just telling him that right now at the moment, I'm not focusing on trying to change the world, but just to simply do whatever I can to do good things for my physical body. That's pretty much it.
Have you heard about Rizze wants to talk about those elongated skulls found around the body, around the world? Have you heard about those? I don't think we should go through here because the signal might cut off.
Well, yeah. I think that those are tribal things where they actually put boards and wrap them around babies'
That's
heads
right.
to shape the skull.
Yeah, they did that on purpose. In fact, there's a photo of somebody who like a photo from the 1800s or something where somebody still did that. But yeah, they shape the head when it still hasn't fully formed as a baby.
We're still doing that in certain tribes.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I don't know why I saw a photo from the 1800s as an example on Wikipedia.
Yeah, they're also putting rings around their neck to elongate their necks.
Sure. What's in your diet, Carlos?
Well, a whole lot of vegetables or organic food. I'm cutting out all sugars, all saturated fats. Cutting out just salt in general. But apparently, I don't need to have any extra table salt in the kitchen at all. Let's see, raw food. I'm avoiding cooking my vegetables, broccoli, my carrots. I'm making protein shakes. Let's see, what else is there? Lean meats. I'm making big stews.
Oh yeah, you've been making lots of those.
Having lots of salad. Focusing on protein and vegetables mostly.
You haven't been completely cutting out saturated fat, right? Because you still use ghee.
I only have it because you gave it to me. But yeah, since I finished that little container off, I don't see the need to buy anymore. I put olive oil into my salad. As salad dressing, I'll use cottage cheese.
Yeah, but that's also saturated fat. You know, olive oil and cottage cheese.
I try to eat nuts. I try to eat my nuts raw.
Yeah.
I don't have salted roasted nuts.
Manuel, actually, no, you don't need sugar to stay alive. Your body can synthesize glucose from protein. Out of the protein, protein, fat, and carbohydrates. You don't need carbohydrates.
You don't need to be in that.
So, we're just eating ambrosia salad, lots of sugar, and pot pie last trip, Carlos.
Yeah, I didn't make that at home. If I could have had a better option, I would have. But the only options there, I mean, were that, and that was kind of a day of celebration. That was a special occasion. But you wouldn't find that kind of stuff in my kitchen. You wouldn't find those ingredients in my kitchen. I wouldn't prepare that stuff on my own. But I sure did enjoy that. Yeah, every now and then, why not? But that's not my consistent diet. That's not how I would eat on a daily basis. In fact, I felt a little guilty about that. That felt like a little bit of a hiccup in my diet, a little trend, my trend.
I don't use olive oil. I use walnut oil instead.
Yeah, I also have sunflower seed oil.
Oh yeah. What about berries? You eat berries, Carlos?
Cranberries and raisins and craisins and blueberries. I put those in my salad, and just to sweeten up certain dishes, certain meat dishes like chicken dishes. I'll use cranberries. I love watermelon. That's like my favorite fruit, but I haven't found a good example of a real good watermelon in a long time. I'm starting to give up. One day I'll come across a good one.
What about dingleberries? Ever have dingleberries? I'm reading out the comments. Rizze wanted to know.
Oh, Rizze. You're a funny one.
Rizze. Is Rizze the one who was talking about the trouser snake last time?
Was that Rizze?
I don't know.
I think I just remember Rizze pissing you off with the white privilege stuff. But he did apologize right away.
Let's see, chopped tomatoes and cucumbers soaked in balsamic vinegar.
Oh, yummy.
Yeah, a fresh tomato. A fresh tomato sure is delicious, isn't it? Like a hothouse tomato, or maybe like an heirloom tomato.
Yeah, especially when you find something that's, I don't know, non-GMO, non-organically engineered. Just something very natural, full of flavor. Yeah, it's hard to find that stuff, though. Every now and then I'll pick certain things myself from maybe a natural berry, like a mushroom or a strawberry.
Hey, why do you think that this is off limits? Look, like you can't sit here, you can't sit here.
They might have,
but like over there is fine.
They might have just refinished it.
You think so?
It looks refinished.
It looks nice. It looks good for the sitting.
It looks brand new. I think they probably refinished it just recently.
Yeah, but
this one does not look so nice. This one looks old.
Yeah. So,
I think one place you haven't been to is you haven't shown the audience like the battleship that's out there.
Okay, yeah, let's go over there. In fact, there looks like a galleon or something over there. Here, let me show you guys what we're looking at. So let's go take a look at these shippy ships when we get over there. Okay, Carlos.
Hi.
The people want to know about the time you saw someone about your first time being homeless in San Francisco. Your first night. What was that like?
Oh, that was quite a night. I was 18 years old. I had never actually slept out on the streets. I had never made the choice to go ahead and sleep out on the streets. I had blankets with me.
What led you to that point? Where were you and what was going on? What led you to being?
I was living with that one weird fella, the fella that was trying to groom me into. He was very much in love with me, and he was the guy that we met in the coupons, and he.
I don't think they can hear you because of the wind.
It was a guy that we've talked about many times, Jim, and he was really infatuated with me. He did everything he could to have us together, and he would get naked in front of me, and he was convinced that I was gay. He never told me that. But anyway,
He spooned you and
yeah, he would spoon me, and he the way he looked at me, he was just in love with me. And at the time, he was 40. When we met, I was 17. He was 40. But
you were 16 when you met him.
something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was getting really uncomfortable, you know, living in the same apartment as him.
And I was in foster care with him at that time. He was my foster parent.
Yeah,
So you were staying with me.
So I made the choice to bring some blankets with me, bring a backpack with clothes and some hygiene supplies, and to just head on out into the city and just be homeless at that time. But yeah, my very first night, I was trying to find a good place to sleep, and I just couldn't find any place to really settle down and sleep. Every nook and cranny, every place was scary. So yeah, eventually I got on the top of a dumpster. That felt safe. It was in the parking lot of a Walgreens where there's surveillance cameras and some security. But yeah, I was trying to sleep. I was awake the whole night, and then I heard gunshots. There were obviously gunshots. You know, I heard maybe about eight of them, all, you know, rapid fire, bang, 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 bang. You know, just kind of like that. And yeah, I was pretty sure that they were gunshots, and when I didn't want to move, I didn't want to be seen. I thought that I might be next. They sounded very, very close to me, and I finally moved after a few minutes, and I saw a guy. I saw a guy without a shirt on. He was a black dude with no shirt on, and he was sprawled out in the middle of the road. So I was pretty sure that was the guy who had been shot. But anyway, shortly before that, I had actually seen him pacing around. So I knew, you know, I had seen him, well, you know, before he had been shot. He was pacing around that area for a little while. And so it was the same fella. And I was the only witness. That was another thing that sort of scared me, was I was the only person to see that. It was an SUV. A guy came out of the SUV. He walked around the SUV and went ahead and shot this guy. That was pretty much all I saw. When the SUV drove off, there was the body there. And another crazy thing is that a few seconds after that, a police car drove right by, and I guess they didn't see the body. But yeah, a few minutes later, that area was surrounded by, it was filled with a bunch of cop cars. I walked up and told them what I saw, but they didn't think it was such a big deal. They weren't as shocked as I was. They picked up the body and cleaned up the scene, and the next day it was like nothing had happened. You know, I went there the next day, and there was no evidence that anything had happened that night. That's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Yeah. So you never, that was your first day out there, right?
Yeah, that was my introduction to homeless life in the city.
And you were sort of freshly 18, right? After you turned 18, I think Jim wanted to have sex with him before he turned of age.
Jim became a different person. He was not quite so nice, and he wasn't grooming me quite as hard.
No, listen, the day of your birthday.
Yeah.
Jim was pissed.
Yeah,
he was just pissed with you.
I was of age. I was 18, and he had sort of lost interest, and that was the only thing that kind of disgusted me. He just, you know, he wasn't the same person anymore. He was kind of an asshole.
He was legitimately pissed.
Yeah, he was kind of a jerk after that.
But yeah, so you were freshly 18, and that was I still remember you had your backpack, and you're like, all right, I'm going, and I was like, all right, and you said, wish me luck. I was like, all right, good luck, and he gave you a hug, and then off you went.
Yeah, I got on the Greyhound. At that time, I was in Sacramento.
You left at night.
I left late at night. I got onto the Greyhound, and I was dropped off here in the city, and I had nowhere to go. The streets. That was pretty much it. It was summer. At least it was summer.
Yeah, it was pretty warm. Bin Love said her ex-husband saw a guy get his throat slit in Oakland back in the 80s.
Oh yeah, these things happen. They you know, these things are kind of common occurrences in big cities. They happen.
In the sidewalk. But,
yeah. Bin Love. Yeah, 12 years clean. Won't forget that. Every time I hear these sort of things, it's an inspiration to me, and I keep these kind of little pieces with me. So good on you.
It's amazing. Out of all I just have a few little subscribers that watch these streams live, And out of them, it's surprising how many people have gone themselves through, are sober now, but have gone through addiction.
Yeah, some people struggle their whole lives. Some people die young, and others get clean. And it's nice to be in that category of the getting clean folks.
16 years, Bin Love.
16.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So there's Bin Love.
It was IV heroin, wasn't it?
There's Blank. I think was Amy M also.
Yeah. Oh, what was her problem? I mean, I know that she's not. She says she's not really very social.
No, she's not a people person.
But she enjoys her furry friends, her birds, and her furry companions.
Yeah. Yeah, and Blank, 15 years clean from meth.
Meth, yikes. Intravenous, was it? Was it smoking it?
I heard something. Meth destroys your teeth. So a lot of people believe it's because you're smoking it that it eats away at your teeth.
It's the dry mouth.
But that's right. Actually, they found that people who inject it have even worse teeth than those people who smoke it.
Yeah, a lot of meth users will go ahead and do what they need to do. They force themselves to drink water, and force themselves to eat, force themselves to take breaks and sleep. But even then, it catches up to you.
Live Mogul says that they're no stranger to a cardboard condo.
Who said that?
Live Mogul.
Live Mogul.
Yeah, Live Mogul I think is a recent addition. Hey Carlos, you want to test this out?
Heck yeah, these things are fun.
All right, so let me show. So we're outside of the Exploratorium. Carlos is gonna go over there, and I'm gonna be over here in this dome. We're just gonna have a normal conversation. Keep in mind how far he is away and how. So Carlos, go ahead and say something.
I can hear you loud and clear. If you weren't, if these things weren't behind me, I wouldn't be able to hear a thing.
Yeah, I hear you from behind me. Let me go.
I hear you on both sides, and can you ask the audience if they can also hear me?
Yeah, can you guys? Okay. How was your day, Carlos?
Well, I woke up in San Jose. I took a long trip on the train, and I walked from Hunters Point and Bayview. That was a long, unpleasant walk. I won't be doing that again. These things always impress me. I feel like I could be much, much further, and it would still work.
Yeah. How far do you think you could be away and just scream?
Well,
And
I guess if these, what would you call these? Oh, can you hear that?
oh yeah, I can.
Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah. It sounds like I'm inside of a drum. It sounds like I'm inside of a metal barrel. It sounds like you're in there with me.
Can you bang yours?
Bang it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm not hearing it behind me.
Go further back. Yeah,
No, there's a sweet spot. You got to sit forward a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I'm just testing out the focus.
Yeah.
Focal point. Oh.
Oh,
God,
sorry.
that was loud. My God. Oh.
So Carlos, what is this called? Ow! Damn it.
Damn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if these were bigger, then we'd be able to be even further back.
Sure. Yeah, I guess it just needs to be a clear area, right?
And of course, if we went outside, because I feel like all these cars in the wind are kind of messing things up too. But I'm actually going to talk a little softer because you can probably hear me speaking soft.
I think the comment said that it was a little bit soft.
Maybe you need to put the audience right where your ears are.
Yeah,
like
I tried to go back to have it right where I am.
Yeah. How far would you say we are from each other right now? Maybe 40, 50 feet? What would you say?
Ooh. Let me think. Well, let's see. How big is that? Like 4? Let's see. 6. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to. I could count it. Let me go ahead and count it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20,
You got to
21,
10. You were much
22,
further than
23,
10.
24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 28 and a half paces. So one pace is approximately 1 yard.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna call them feet.
No. Yeah, a yard is approximately 1 pace. So, somewhere around 30 yards, or between 20 and 30 yards.
50 to 60 feet.
Well, it may be higher than that actually. If it was 30 yards, that'd be 90 feet.
Is that right?
Yeah. They said we can't see him. Yeah, you couldn't see him because he was so far away.
Yeah, those things are always fun. I'm always impressed by those things.
Yeah, imagine if you had like a huge one. You had to climb a ladder to get up in the middle of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess sometimes if you go to certain places like where they have a big, the side of a mountain which is all stone, you can hear an echo from, you can hear your own voice coming back for many, many times.
Yeah.
In certain places.
It doesn't look like we're going to see any... Oh! We didn't see that big ship.
Oh, but they're going to have a battleship down that way. That's more impressive.
Oh, more impressive than this galleon?
Yeah, more impressive.
No, son. It's made out of wood. Not your fancy steel.
Well, who can beat who up?
And which one's older?
Who knows?
Yeah,
That could be a modern one.
So what are those called? I don't know. I just call it those things outside of the exploratorium.
I'm sure it's got a long fancy name.
Yeah.
An audio focus rig. Jig. I've seen those with
The teleaural domes. I don't know. Pro tip, you can urinate off the deck and act like you're fishing.
Yeah, that was the exploratorium back there, by the way. They have all kinds of cool stuff like that inside. Inside the exploratorium.
I think I educated people on that pro tip earlier. Oh, that's one of the boats. One of my boats. Okay. Who are you, Edwin? Are you become Edwin now? Yeah.
Pier 23. That's a good seafood place. Good seafood. Straight ahead.
Yeah. I think, I can't see the comment, but I think Blank is trying to quit from cigarettes.
Oh boy. Good luck.
Carlos was so focused on his alcohol addiction, he kind of forgot that he also had the cigarette addiction too.
Yeah, but overnight I had made up my mind to quit everything. So my mindset was that and slipping up in any direction, even coffee, was going to cause me to fail at anything. So I really had to be strict on any substance. But I have tried quitting cigarettes many times with patches. And every now and then I would be successful for several weeks, and then the temptations were still there. So I'm not taking any chances.
Cigarettes is difficult. It seems like the patch is the best because, what happened with you is you put it on and forgot that you had it on, and so of course, you're getting less and less, and you eventually got weaned off without even knowing it. But yeah, there's a comedian who. Named Rich Voss, who was a crack addict and stuff, but he does, he smokes and stuff. He decided to quit cigarettes, and he moved over to chewing gum, like Nicorette, and he's got that stuff in his mouth non-stop. Yeah. He sleeps with it in his mouth. He wakes up with green stuff on his pillow.
I've tried patches many times. I've put on probably hundreds of patches, and sure, it cut back on the actual smoking, but I still had nicotine in my body. Finally getting rid of all that nicotine once and for all was a big challenge.
Swank Records got another pro tip. This pro tip is cutting the patch and getting the max strength patch and cutting it in half.
Oh, they said that you're totally not supposed to do that. because it's got a membrane that slowly releases it. When you cut it in half, you're severing that membrane, and you could be giving yourself an even higher dose.
For less time, right?
It just, but who knows?
Well, maybe, what if you put a sticker on yourself and then put the patch half on, and then went ahead and switched to the other half?
Just go to a lower dose.
Yeah, seems like a better idea.
A half dose better.
Pro tip, it's easier to not start than to quit.
Also at night, apparently, when you take the patch off at night to sleep, that's a good time to apparently you don't get as many cravings at night when you're sleeping. But to put it on in the morning and take it off at night. I would also put on my patch and leave it on as long as I could. I would wait until it was really truly depleted, and one patch could last a few days.
Lee, how do you quit drinking soda? I love soda. I don't know. I mean, I guess I used to like drinking it, but I just made up in my mind that I wasn't gonna do that stuff anymore. I mean, it's not difficult, I mean, I guess here's what you do. If you really are stuck on like the sort of carb cycle, which can happen if you do a lot of if you eat a lot of sugary stuff, you drink a lot of sugary stuff, you're gonna have those sugar cravings. Just go ahead and fast for a single day, and then the next day eat the food that you want to eat. Go ahead and eat salads without dressing. Eat whatever it is. It's going to be a whole lot more appealing after you're really hungry. But listen, you abstain from sugar for a day, and you'll go back to normal. And same thing can kind of be done with salt. You don't really need salt. I've gone without salt for a long time. Your taste actually changes.
After making those changes in my diet, I feel that I feel better throughout the day, and I also get better quality sleep at night. Everything's running better. Everything's more smooth.
You used to not be able to function without coffee, right?
Well, yeah, I would get very irritable. I had to have my coffee. I had to. You would get a cup of coffee from Starbucks and try to last as long as you could.
I think it would get all raggedy.
Oh, because I was reusing the same.
Yeah, just reusing it repeatedly, just
getting
going
refills.
back and getting more and more refills.
Yeah, I don't know if they still do that, but yeah, 50 cents for a refill.
Yeah,
I don't know if they still do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sodium free anymore, but I have done it, and it really is kind of an experience to go completely just make all your own food and don't add salt to anything. At first it'll be really bland, but then later you'll realize like, wow, there's so much sweetness in everything. I once found myself missing the carbonation more than the sugar water, so mineral water was an easy switch. Man, mineral water for me is disgusting.
I've never enjoyed the carbonation of soda. It's funny because when I was a little kid, I was actually being given soda, a bad thing, and being forced to drink it.
Yeah.
Like, drink your soda, don't throw that soda away.
That's good soda.
Yeah.
What's funny about all these sodas is they're originally medicine. It was originally medication you would get from like a pharmacy. Coca-Cola was for headaches and had cocaine in it. And I think even to this day it still does. It's got neutralized cocaine in there for the flavor, but
For caffeine, for sure.
oh sure, it's got caffeine as well. But I mean, what was it? I think it was 7-Up had, or I'm not sure if it was 7-Up or a Sprite had lithium inside of it. A lot of these things actually were medicated beverages, and they just became popular for their flavor. You're making me want water, says Bin Love. I quit soda and feel so much better. Yeah, man, that stuff is terrible. Terrible for your pancreas and terrible for your kidneys.
It's got a scary amount of sugar in it.
Yeah.
Scary amount.
the whole reason why I was trying to get Carlos to get off carbs was because of the amount of pressure that he's put on his pancreas and kidneys by being an alcoholic, you know, because he's just drinking all sugar, and that's what he was living off of.
Yesterday I ran a mile. I just felt like it.
Wow.
And I hadn't done that in years. I sprinted a mile. It felt good to be able to do that again.
How'd your knees feel after that?
Fine. It was all good. Everything fine. I felt it was like being put in my younger past self.
Oh, they're saying that it was 7-Up had 7 milligrams of lithium in it.
Okay. 7.
Well, I'm not sure. They don't know where the name 7-Up came from. That sounds like a good theory, though. You know, it lifts you up with 7 milligrams of lithium.
Yeah.
So 7-Up. Carl Christensen says, "Thanks for what you do, Lee. I'm wishing you and Carlos the very best in old San Francisco. Please, peace and love from Chirac." Chirac?
Is that a new person?
That was, his name, Carl Christensen. I don't know where Chirac is.
Yes.
Chirac?
Thanks for your kind words. We have such a great audience.
I know, it's amazing. Every once in a while, one of those guys from Twitch comes over, though.
Oh, you guys.
Next time you crave soda, look at the nutrition facts. One single 12-ounce Coke has over 100% of daily sugar recommendation. Actually, that's not even recommendation. That's the upper limit. Some things on the nutrition, some things are the recommended minimum, and some are the allowable, the what they consider the allowable maximum. For like sodium, it's how much you are allowed maximum, and sugar, it's how much you're allowed maximum, you know, or should be.
Well, since the carbonation kind of hides how sweet it is, so it's really more sweet than you can actually really taste.
Hey, you know what's interesting with milk? People don't realize how every serving of milk has 13 grams of sugar, or maybe 14, depending if it's fat-free or not.
So yeah,
but,
so apparently from what you've said is that really this is the only beverage that we should be drinking. Any other beverage is not really all that good for you.
Yeah. But really, yeah, I mean, you should be drinking water. I mean, milk is good for you when you're developing, when you're growing.
People that argue that tea is...
No, the problem with tea, there's a few problems with tea. So there could be a lot of aluminum inside of there because there's aluminum in the soil. You're buying tea, most likely it's coming from China. But if it's not coming from China, it's coming from somewhere else where they have soils that may have metal contaminants inside there. They are using aluminum tools.
You could say the same about water. It's got contaminants and whatnot.
It depends where the water's coming from, you know. But there is a big problem with aluminum contamination, specifically in tea. And then there's the fact that you are, you're boiling it. You're boiling the water before you're putting it over inside of there. You could leach out stuff from the metal container that you're boiling the stuff in. If you're using a steel pot or a steel kettle that was that's made with Chinese steel, apparently all Chinese steel has lead in it. It's all been contaminated.
I worry about coffee makers, see, because I used to make coffee multiple times a day, and then most of them are plastic. You know?
Yeah, you're getting, well, look, this bottle here that you're drinking, you're getting BPA in there.
Even this fancy Fuji?
Yeah, if it didn't have BPA, it would say does not contain BPA.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
There it is, BPA free.
Oh, okay, there you go. But still, I think they found that people have an alarming amount of plastic just flowing through their blood system, clogging up their arteries. You know?
Oh, damn.
Another, maybe you're using an aluminum pot. There's still a lot of aluminum cookware, or
Right.
maybe you're using a non-stick pot to boil your water in, and you're getting the Teflon and other stuff inside other carcinogens inside your body.
I was shopping around for a cast iron skillet, and they were saying in Google reviews, they were saying that nowadays that the non-stick coatings are so good that it's superior to cast iron skillets.
Listen, they say this kind of stuff all the time, and then the amount of time that research takes to show that that's not the case or that it's still harmful, they'll say no, those are the old ones, these new ones. You know, that's just that's a smoke screen. They do that all the time.
Then the Teflon, they already had established that it was bad for you, but because I guess the patent or something was still active, they were still able to sell it for a while even after that.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things that are just not good for you.
I've been in here. It costs the aquarium of the bay. I've been in there, and it costs as much as the Monterey Bay Aquarium, even though it's like super tiny. It's like very, very small.
Yeah, I haven't heard good things about it. This is one place that I've wanted to go to for decades. For decades, everybody tells me that it's tiny and it's completely not worth it.
Yeah, it's like a small little version of the Monterey Bay Aquarium, a little sample version of it. Well, yeah, for pretty much the same price, the same admission. Last time I was here, I believe it was like $35 to get in for an adult.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go check real quick what it is.
Okay. Let's see. Anyhow,
Oh, great.
oh look, it's only $27.95.
27.
And for children, it's only $18.
Yeah. I suppose if you're out here in the city for one day and you can afford it, then why not?
$18 is pretty pricey for a child's ticket.
Yeah, but if you're out here visiting 1 or 2 days, you need to go leave the country after that, go back home. You know, might as well make the best of it.
Let's say it's a family of 4. How much was that family of 4?
You know, when I go visit places, I'm ready to be gouged. You know, I'm ready.
$75 for a family of 4.
Yeah.
That's a little pricey.
You know, when you go to a theme park, a cup of coffee is going to cost you like $7. You know.
Well, we're going to be going to some place that's going to be kind of expensive over here.
You just have to expect that sort of thing at tourist attractions.
I heard good and bad about coffee. I don't know. Just stay away from sugar. No, I don't think coffee is good for you. I think coffee's bad for you. I mean, I personally believe it's a carcinogen because you're taking these beans, these green beans, and you're roasting them. You're blackening them. The bitter flavor that you're tasting is the fact that they've been burned.
I don't appreciate the fact that it's just addictive. Like if it's something that I could have every now and then and not feel the need to to crave it, to drink it, then okay, sure, why not? Treat yourself from time to time. But yeah, the fact that it's addictive, I don't like that.
I don't know, but
lots of things are bad for you.
Oh, they want to see the sea lions. We better go there before it gets too dark.
Well, if you want to get there fast, we might as well go around the crowd and go like.
We could go through the crowd, no problem. Oh, over here you could get the original sourdough bread bowl. Over there. Oh, dang it! Is this music gonna get me in trouble?
You don't want to get in trouble.
I don't want to get in trouble.
I was actually here just a few days ago before I left to San Jose because I bought some presents for my nephews.
Oh, look, yeah, there's plenty of ships over here. Uh-oh, there's another speaker over here, too. Ta-da! All right. I think we lost Cat RN.
You might have said goodbye and you didn't notice.
Yes, goodbye, Cat RN.
Cat RN, we missed you. Sorry. Cat.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today. I did see you there, Cat.
Yes. Dang it, they just put this music everywhere, don't they?
It is going to be everywhere.
They didn't used to have the music out here, right? You'd just be walking around. You'd hear the sound from like various arcades or other things like that, right?
That would seem too quiet.
No, there was noise coming out from inside of those various establishments as you walk past.
I mean, just hearing just the natural sounds, I think that would have seemed a little too quiet. I think there's always...
You don't know, there would be stuff like, step in, and it'd be like the 4D thing making all kinds of noise.
Of course.
There was arcades, and you'd hear like, bling, 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 bling. You know,
You might be right.
it was that kind of noise.
But anywhere you go, any store, any mall, they always have... Every place has like a thing playing.
Oh, she is there.
Cat RN.
See you, Cat.
Cat, are you leaving?
Yeah, she's leaving.
Thank you for walking with us tonight, Cat. Yeah, it is getting a bit late.
Yeah.
It is getting a
Oh,
little
actually,
rough.
it's 8:04. So let's hurry up and see these sea lions, and I guess we'll wrap up over there this time.
Wrap it up.
The Yepers. So it's going to be pretty crazy for me this week because I'm going to be working on the 2 days I have off. I'm working tomorrow and the next, and on Thursday.
I too have to get up early tomorrow to get to work.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to start limiting things early because, I mean, you know, after I do one of these streams, the next day I'm like dying.
Right.
And so the next day I'm going to be working Hamilton, which again,
And how long is your shift work?
oh boy, it's like nearly 5 hours,
Oh, okay.
but it's yeah.
Alcatraz.
So we're gonna, let's see. Oh, look, there's one of those hearts I was talking about before.
Not too many of those left. I don't think they're putting out any new ones.
Yeah, I think they're just taking them away.
This is probably the most photographed of them all.
Aren't these things a rip-off? 50 cents, you know? You're not even, have you used them before? You're not actually that magnified.
I have used them, and you can clearly see people on Alcatraz walking.
Oh, wow.
You can.
I haven't used these ones specifically, but over at, these ones do actually look a lot larger than the ones I typically see, but I was thinking about the ones over at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Those ones were wimpy.
5 times or 50 times, I forget, but the binoculars,
Yeah.
it'd be the equivalent to this. So some of those nice big binoculars.
Yeah.
So just bring your binoculars.
Oh, Blank is leaving us too. He's going to write another chapter of his book.
Good night, Blake. Right on time, Blake. Right on time. We're gonna be signing off soon.
Well, but you're gonna miss the sea lions. We're almost there. But oh well. I'll see you later, Blake. Thanks for joining.
Oh, chili.
All right. It's so windy. They're not gonna hear. I've never put my eye in that bacterial-ridden telescope. So let's go switch around.
It smells fishy.
Yeah. Wow, look at that. That's why one of them barfed up or something over there. You see that? Yucky. That puddle of muck right there. Muck. And look, yeah, there's that seagull there. Danger. Danger, Robinson. Oh, that seagull just... Oh, he wants to eat it. He left. Oh, is he going to? Oh, he's afraid that he's going to be attacked. Ew. Oh, no. Don't do it.
Fishy.
That smells disgusting.
Maybe that's the
Yeah, he's afraid that the other one's going to be upset that he's eating that nasty stuff. Oh, there's some fighting going on.
You were here with me, right?
And wow, that seagull decided that it was no good. He's walking away. Yeah. We were. Oh man, it's still. Well, we were here one time when something huge came in the water.
Yeah.
Huge.
Might have been a whale or something.
Yeah, it seemed like a whale because you know, dolphins would normally poke out of the water, but something huge. The water was bulging as a boom going over here. All of those guys, they jumped all out. All of them jumped out. All the little ones, the big ones actually went down in the water. The little ones jumped out. But like everything was just boom, small. Like it was massive. Whatever the hell that thing was. It was kind of unbelievable. But anyhow, here are the sea lions. Oh, they wanted to wait, go forward a little bit. They wanted to hear your sea lion impersonation.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you want to do that? Or you don't feel comfortable?
I have a feeling that it wasn't specifically me. They were probably asking you.
No, they said Carlos. That time they specifically said Carlos. Oh, that was a while ago. I think it might have been Rizzo. I don't know.
Too cold.
He didn't want to. Yeah, not everything that they say is fun for you, but that one was specifically for you.
No, it's because when they wanted to say yoga, they just said, hey, can you say yoga? And Carlos, they want you to say yoga, Carlos.
Look, there's the Transamerica Pyramid, there's the Kuwait Tower, and then there's the what's that other one? Salesforce Tower. All three together right over there.
Salesforce, all the visible, all the...
Yeah.
Wow, it looks so much closer than it really is.
Oh yeah, here's what it was. It was Aesthetic Funk. I said, Carlos, do your best seal line impression and find yourself a mate. That's what he said. Or she.
A sea lion mate, I'm sure.
Yeah. See?
That's a new one.
That was a repeat of that quote. That was what they said before. I left that to find yourself a mate part. Uh-oh, action. All right. Here we are in San Francisco. I can't do the voice I want to do. Who's gonna win? Put your guess in the comments. If you get it, say I got it. Oh look, there's another one. Oh no, it's a battle royale. Oh, he slipped right off.
Clash of the Titans.
Oh, that the new guy looks like he's got the upper hand. Oh, the other guy's kind of giving in. Oh. He doesn't got a good spot. He's gonna. Oh, there he goes. Bam. Immediately started resting. Have you ever seen that?
He's making sure that the other guy's
Oh, the other guy. No, he's not gone. He's right there. Oh, he's getting him. He's going for him. Oh, I've never seen this before. Wow, an underwater scuffle.
Should have just left. Should have just swam away.
Oh, now he's got to teach him a lesson. Oh man, they can't see. He's out of breath. He's coming out to tell him again. Wow. Yeah. Wow, that'd be crazy if we saw some seal murder. So a sea lion, you know? The other one is not coming up for air. Okay, they both came up. Uh-oh.
Now standing up for
Uh-oh. Now you won't like me when I'm angry.
Oh boy. Mess with the wrong sea lion.
Look at that. He's got some flexibility though. Yeah, that. Oh, there he goes. Oh, that's not enough. Leaving is not enough.
They spilled that poop over there.
Yeah. Oh man, you see a cloud in the water.
Yeah, it's all cloudy.
Yeah, then the other guy who got up, he was on that vomit and slipped right off.
Yeah.
Wow. Who knew that it would be such intense action over here?
And now that it's not so pretty, it still looks pretty.
Yeah. Where's that? Oh, yeah. What's that? The Ohio or something? What is that?
I don't know.
Yeah. But anyhow, massive ear blowjob with that wind noise. Well, what can we do, you know? So anyhow, I think that's about that. Looks like that wrapped up. So thank you guys for. Oh, just when I said that. Oh no. Oh. Wow. Man, it just it never ends over here, huh? It's funny, there's so many places to rest too.
He's also one of the bigger ones. Like, he wouldn't mess with the smaller ones, but messing with the biggest guy.
Yeah, well, maybe most of these are female and children, you know, and he's trying to assert his dominance.
Yeah, they seem quite relaxed.
How much would you say that these guys weigh, Carlos?
I'd say 500.
500 pounds?
Yeah.
I think the big ones may weigh more, maybe like 800. I think these things are surprisingly dense, you know?
Out with us and walking with us all the way from downtown to the end of Pier 39. Yeah, hope to see you guys here again. Rize, always with us. Always enjoy your comments. And Julieta, always nice to have you. Very friendly person there. Yeah, bye. Yeah, make sure to tune in Wednesday, Friday. If you don't have your notification bell activated, go ahead and get that going. Because sometimes I may start early, allegedly, but most of the times I am not exactly at 6 o'clock, and generally I'm late for one reason or another, and it'll notify you as soon as I go live. Thank you, XCVI Max, Breezy Girl, Sweat. Thank you to D Flores for the $5 donation also earlier on. Oh, D Flores, the donations.
D Flores. And thank you to the few, the proud, the patrons. I guess we're going to go on. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be setting up Carlos with a new phone. So he may in the future be doing his own streams. So I guess we'll stay tuned for more information on that. Again, if you want to see more on Carlos's background, you can check out the Patreon link. And we got a little video with him talking about what life was like before you into the system.
I want to get one of these gimbals.
Yeah.
These gimbals, these things are cool.
So, anyhow, thank you all. Have a good Monday and have a good Tuesday, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Oh, I thought I stopped. So anyhow, thank you Max, thank you Sith, thank you Aesthetic Funk, thank you Carlo Gambino, Swank Records, Breezy Girl, and now I am going to end it.